You know that sinking feeling when you walk into the office and you see your team just going through the motions? Tasks are getting done, but there's no spark, there's no energy. And if you're honest, it's probably starting to worry you just a touch. Maybe you've tried pep talks, setting stretch goals, or even throwing the occasional pizza party. We know pizza parties ain't gonna do it. Anyway, but nothing seems to light that fire. And if your team's not motivated, guess who's ultimately held responsible? Yep, you. But here's the truth most managers miss. The real reason your team isn't motivated has nothing to do with how hard they're working. And it's not because they don't care. In fact, most people want to feel motivated at work. So what's killing your team's drive? Let's break it down. Have you ever been handed a project with absolutely zero context? Nothing. You're told, just get it done, with no explanation of why it matters. Probably feels pretty pointless. That's exactly how your team feels when they don't understand the bigger picture. Your job isn't to just assign tasks. It's to connect the dots. When people understand how their work impacts the company's goals, they care more. It's simple as that. So the next time you delegate, don't just say what needs to be done. Explain why it matters and how it contributes to the bigger vision. It's not micromanaging, it's giving purpose. And if you're unsure where to start, I've got something to help you. Download the free Leadership Quick Wins checklist. It's packed with actionable tips you can apply immediately to boost your team's motivation and engagement. In the description, you can grab this. Anyway, nothing drains motivation faster than feeling invisible. And no, a half-hearted, good job, doesn't count. People need to know that their efforts are seen and appreciated. Recognition doesn't have to be elaborate. A quick, specific acknowledgement like, hey, I noticed how you handled that tough client or that tough client conversation. You know, that took real skill. Something like that goes a long way. And here's the kicker. People crave recognition in different ways. Some prefer a public pat on the back, while others just want a private thank you. Get to know what makes your team feel valued. One manager I know used to keep a note on his phone about how each of his team members preferred recognition. I thought this was crazy, but neither here nor there. Every time he saw something worth celebrating, he made sure to deliver it in a way that resonated. Guess what happened? Engagement through the roof. If your team is constantly playing it safe, they're probably afraid. Afraid of messing up, looking stupid, getting called out. Let's be real. A lot of managers, unintentionally, maybe even intentionally, create this fear. Maybe you've reacted harshly to mistakes or unknowingly set impossible standards. If you want to break that fear, start sharing your own mistakes. When leaders are transparent about their failures, it sends a powerful message. Taking risks, it's okay here. That's when creativity and motivation thrive. I'll never forget the time I botched a major baggage SOP early in my career. Instead of hiding it, which I really wanted to do, but instead of hiding it, I owned it. I owned that experience. And that experience became a turning point. Because when my team saw that I wasn't afraid to admit the mistake, they felt safer taking risks. People don't just work for a paycheck. If you look at my comments, a lot of them will say I'm just here for the paycheck. But most people work for progress. If your team doesn't see a path to grow, why would they stay engaged? And growth doesn't necessarily mean promotions. It can mean new projects, mentorship, skill development, or even cross-training in other departments. Ask your team directly, what's one skill you'd love to develop this year? Then you, as the manager, make it happen. People will give you their best when they see you're invested in their future. This one stings, but it is important. If your team doesn't trust you, motivation crumbles. Trust isn't built through grand gestures. It's built in the everyday moments. Do you follow through on your promises? Do you listen without judgment? Are you willing to admit when you're wrong? Leaders who are consistent and transparent create environments where people feel safe to contribute. That is when motivation skyrockets. So what's your next move? It's not about being a perfect leader. It's about being a present leader. Start small. Choose one area to focus on this week. Maybe it's giving clearer context on tasks or recognizing someone's efforts. Trust me, once you see the difference, you'll wonder why you did not try this sooner. Because when your team is motivated, everything changes. And that change, not to sound cliche, but it all starts with you. So when you are ready, see you in that next video. Ciao.